Welcome to the Hammered Hooligans podcast. I'm your host, Joe, with the homies.
Skyler, here we go. That's me.
Is your boy Jorge?
And it's your boy Matthew.
How you guys doing tonight?
A little tired, honestly.
I'm doing super.
This dude Matt hasn't slept apparently.
Yeah, I haven't slept in like close to like 4 to 8 hours.
You know
Sounds
what they
fun.
say. No sleep getting in those sheets, boys. Behind me.
Is that what they say?
That is indeed what they say.
Sweet.
Who are they? Well, we might never know.
We'll figure it out.
People talking. That's who.
So,
All right.
what
do we got?
Anything interesting happen in anybody's lives recently?
Not really recently. I've just been kind of sitting around
My
playing
life.
games and wasting away.
Pretty much.
Wasting away.
My life this whole fucking week was just clockwork. Just go to work, go home, eat, sleep.
I mean,
I'll get to mine later on, but I've had a pretty eventful week. Yeah.
yeah, he had a pretty eventful last couple hours, huh?
Yeah, but I've also had a pretty eventful week as well.
Okay.
So-
Okay.
We do have a couple Reddit questions we need to read, and just kind of branch off from there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start. Let's see. What is the most severe case of someone being completely out of touch with reality you've ever seen?
Oh no. Out of touch with
So-
reality.
Oh man.
So, the most delusional person you've ever met.
So if you were asking my dad, it would have been Friday morning. He asked me a question, and I was just like, "No, that's not what happened." He's like, "What the fuck are you talking about, kid?" Like apparently there is a miscommunication, and apparently I had misunderstood what he said, and apparently it was so far off from what he said that
Oh,
you
man.
actually fucked that up so hard that I actually don't even need what I said, and it was just this big mess. But yeah, I know.
Yeah, I was there to witness all this too.
Was it
So
bad?
I was just standing there, like right next to them, holding a ladder.
Just holding a ladder.
I was
Just
holding
vibing with the ladder.
I was just holding a ladder. I felt like asking a question, but it felt like if I asked a question, one of them would just yell at me.
You're just gonna get flamed.
Pretty much.
Insta flame. Okay, I feel that.
Yeah,
They
his
just-
dad was yelling at Matt, and then Matt was just like, the funniest part of that whole thing was that Matt, he was just like, he paused for like a second, and then he just fucking screamed.
Nice.
Wait, what?
And, yeah, you it's like I don't you just screamed or yelled. You're just like,
The Super Saiyan mode.
Yeah,
Basically is
yeah,
what
because he has this knack of never being wrong.
Your dad.
Similar to Joe, where it's never like,
Okay.
hey,
got some flaming going
like
on
like
here right now.
like whenever it's
Oh boy.
he can say something and then like it's him saying it, but then if I tell you how I interpreted it, I'm wrong.
Say something
Or
bad,
if it's
Joe.
like, hey,
Pussy.
I took it this way, or hey, I may not have I may have not completely understood what you meant. I'm wrong for not understanding completely. Oh, sorry. I'm not directing this directly at you, Joe. It's specifically
yes.
my dad.
You're entitled
But-
to your wrong opinion. It's fine.
Yeah. See, exactly. But in the case of just somebody never like, or sorry, the question was like, when was the last time that you saw somebody so like disillusioned with reality? It's my dad would say me, Friday morning, but yeah.
For me, it was definitely. It was a late night. It was a game night, and I had this drunk couple come through. And dude, I don't know what they were drinking or how much they'd been up to, but they were fucking rolling, dude. Because they came in, and it was this guy. He's probably about like 5'8", average size dude, and his girlfriend was like 5 foot, right? So there's a big height gap. And homeboy, he said he can't stand up straight. Like, at all. Like, homeboy has no sense of balance. It looks like somebody just did the Jason Statham fucking ear clap. You know what I'm talking about? Like, his balance is fucked. Okay? And his girlfriend's trying to hold him up. It's the funniest shit I've ever seen. I was sitting there trying to be professional, and I just couldn't fucking stop giggling at him. They're just absolute.
Was it like the picture of Shaq with his girlfriend who's like an entire body length shorter?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. And the dude, right? The dude was like plastered, like hard plastered. His
The dude
girlfriend
box.
was pretty plastered too, right? And I could smell their breath. I was like, these guys have been like not just but they've been licking the floor, you know, at the
Jesus.
club.
Nice.
they've been really fiending, and they literally could not say a sentence to me straight. Like their grasp on reality was truly flying away from them. I don't know if it was just drinking they'd been up to, but they were so fucked. Like they literally went from talking to me about the drive there from an Uber to I think one of them started trying to talk to me about politics.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
And then one tried to talk to me about why we should own guns. Like, and this was in the span of like 5 minutes. Like their grip on reality was
brother.
fading,
Yeah,
boys.
Oh man.
But man,
Give
it
him
was
his chance.
Dude,
it was pretty nuts. I'm
Dealing
not
with
gonna
drunk
lie.
people is probably one of the most obnoxious things you could
I was gonna
do
say
to
it's
yourself.
it's like you witness someone falling from reality.
I would say it really like dealing with drunk people. It really depends on the situation. Like for instance, if you are a hotel guy, you would expect like, hey, it's Friday night, I'm probably gonna have some people. But if you're like a desk worker and some guy comes in and you're trying to do his taxes and he's drunk, it's like, yeah, that's fucking annoying.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
like, hey, like if you're a cop or if you're somebody who's like typically would have to deal with that, like yeah.
It's normalized. Yeah, I mean, like as a hotel boy,
Hotel boy.
it is.
Cowboy. He
it-
flushes the sheets.
Hotel
and
homie.
shit. He tucks you in and shit like that.
as the guy you meet when you come into a hotel at late hours, I can tell you there's 3 types of drunk people I end up dealing with. I end up dealing with ones who are aggressive, which are never fun. Dealing with aggressive drunk people is the worst because like at any moment I'm like, I might just take this badge off and just beat the shit out of this person.
Yeah.
But other times I have people who come in they get the complete opposite. They're like friendly drunks,
Yeah.
which those people are fun to fuck around with because
They're just a homie.
you can kind of fuck with them because they're inebriated enough to where their grip on actual facts and things are kind of slipped away.
Yeah.
So I pretty much just do what Jorge does to me and Matt. I just stoke fires. So they'll be like, bro, I got in this Uber, dude. Hold me, dude. He had water in the car. And he wouldn't let me have any. I'm like, bro, he wouldn't let you have any water? What a fucking bitch.
Fucking bitch.
And I'll get them riled up before they leave the lobby, and that's always fun.
Like, yeah, he was a fucking bitch.
And then I'll get the completely incoherent people who are pretty much sleeping.
Yeah.
And those people are the worst because I would rather deal with an aggressive drunk person than one of those because those people make me worried because now I'm like, okay, I have to walk them to their room and make sure they don't die on the way.
Yeah.
And it puts me in a weird spot.
But you're also like doing like a good deed too. Like,
Yeah, but my moral satisfaction from what I do isn't why I do it. I do it for money. I mean, let's be real. Nobody does
Yeah.
good deeds for good deeds' sake anymore. This is 2020, boys. That just isn't how it is. I mean, it just depends. Like sometimes I get a lot of satisfaction out of helping people, but there is a lot of people who I don't want to help, but I have to.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily, it's not part of my job, but I'm just like, if I don't help them,
Morally.
it's going to create a situation that I then have to deal with.
Yeah.
So I almost see it as maintenance. Like me doing this prevents me from having to like call the cops or something. So
preventative maintenance.
yeah, it's a very mixed bag of, what it ends up kind of rolling out to when you deal with drunk people.
Yeah, I remember I had to deal with a lot of those types of people back in the gas station too. Like back to the whole drunk people thing and all that stuff. Like I've dealt with like the 3 types that you were just mentioning, but in every situation, it would always end with them becoming the angry like aggressive drunk. That's mainly because like working at a gas station, you can't sell alcohol to drunk people.
Oh yeah.
And
Do they
it's-
tell you
and
not
it-
to?
Yeah,
Like, you're instructed not to.
Yeah, and especially in the weekends and all that stuff is like there's always TABC rolling around in the weekends and all that shit. And
Right.
yeah, especially if I get if I get caught selling alcohol to a drunk when there's a TABC agent in the area, I'm fucked.
You're donezo, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I think my answer for the question, see, it was disconnected with reality, right?
Yeah.
Mine was probably at one of my older jobs. I had this manager. We'll call him Saul. SAUL, Saul.
Oh man.
So basically, he was a super like Marine dude. Like
Oh,
he was
man.
like in the army, and he was super. Everything was like cut, and you couldn't like mess around. You couldn't like sit and talk, even if there's nobody in the store.
Yeah.
And this was a food place, so I had to be constantly walking around anyway, giving refills and stuff. But like if you stopped to like talk for 1 second or anything, or he would just like flame you.
Jeez.
Also, he was kind of into Dungeons and Dragons and magic and all that stuff. And he would always try to like relate with you in that way because we were talking about video games and stuff, me and some other coworkers, and he would try to jump into the conversation, and we just like, nah, dude, and then just walk away. I think another thing he would like to do a lot is
Fire people.
he would actually he would kind of get on a high horse with that kind of stuff, like
I'll fucking fire you.
yeah, pretty much.
Be my friend.
I'll click clack.
Be
you,
my
you'll
friend. Yeah,
do
you're
my thing,
donezo.
dude.
No, he would always talk about his fucking pain tolerance because somebody would like,
What?
because he was like, he like broke his elbow in the army or some bullshit,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Yeah, I'm constantly in pain at all given points of the day, so don't complain about anything," like type shit. Like he was like, "My elbow's in constant agony." It's like it was
bro,
probably
it
the
just
most
fucking
obnoxious
hurts.
shit.
Yeah,
Bro,
like,
if
get
you
the
want to
fuck
turn
outta
somebody,
here.
if you want to turn any man into an instant bitch, just flick him in the nuts. Like literally, just a soft flick to the nuts is enough to take down any man, pretty much.
That's a yeah, but that's BM. You can't.
It's BM, but it is what it is. Like I'm just saying,
You're a weak man if you go for nut taps.
oh, 100%.
That's just how it is.
But
You
I'm just
got
saying,
no, but at the end of the day, you gotta say no homo.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because then you're
Yeah, you all forgot.
Actually, never mind.
okay.
You
I was gonna talk about Civ, but I
didn't
don't
follow
know.
that, didn't you?
Huh?
You didn't follow that the no homo thing.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Oh,
like
I'm wearing
homo.
socks. I'm good.
Okay,
I'm
go
covered.
ahead.
I don't
Nah,
know wearing
it
socks.
don't
How's
count,
that work?
dog.
Explain.
It's
That shit
only
don't
gay
count.
if you're not wearing socks.
Okay.
Because I'm not naked.
But it's also not a homie, so that sounds pretty sus.
I mean, I'm homosexual. Let's be real, so it's fine.
So you flicking homies in the nuts now, or
Yeah, pretty much.
what's up? All
Pretty
right.
sus, dude.
All right,
So,
all right.
Watch your back.
He hasn't done it to us yet, but okay.
Exactly. So I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe I've just been getting Connor, dude. Every time he calls, to
Get
be
your
fair,
hands
Connor
stuck in
probably
there.
like it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Probably like, all right.
Anyways,
Yeah.
yeah. No,
Oh, yeah,
I'm not a fan of getting tapped in the nuts. Just
It's
to
not
Oh,
be
same.
great.
Yeah. I actually have to hit both of my brothers in the nuts next time I see them for something they did to me. I can't say what on the pod, but it's coming. It's coming down the pipe. I've told both of them, like, next time you see me, you best be watching out. Better be wearing a cup because you're getting click-clacked.
Sack tapped and they
Oh, it's not gonna be a sack tap. It's gonna be a sack slap, boy.
Oh my god.
Jesus, dude.
Tap is like friendly. Slap is like.
What could they have done to deserve this?
You might as well just sock them in the nuts then.
Let's just say they made me see something I did not want to see.
Porn?
I wish.
women.
I've seen terrible things.
What,
I've seen
what-
enough
what
terrible
they make
things
you-
in my
what
life
they
to be
make you
alright.
see? Scat?
I can't tell you.
Boobs.
It's just something that no man should ever have to see. So you wanna go to the next topic?
Yeah, we have another question.
Okay.
Was it-
So what did you think was a rich person thing before realizing how affordable it actually was?
Food.
Wi-Fi.
For me, it was a bidet. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Really?
I thought bidets were like rich people, like caviar level type stuff.
Just a little squirt.
Literally,
If you don't know what a bidet is, it's a toilet attachment that squirts your asshole.
water.
Yeah,
It's
so you don't
not
have to
game
wipe.
changing, by the way.
No, it's life changing.
they're highly overrated.
Oh, see, this is where we're gonna have to disagree because
Oh,
I think
it's
bidets
really
are
good.
bidets are probably one of the best things that's
I
ever
mean,
happened
during-
in my bathroom.
I
during-
still remember the first time you bought that shit. Y'all were just playing around with it in the fucking
It's
room
so
all
funny.
day.
because Joe's got too big of an ass. It doesn't fit comfortably on his
Yeah.
toilet. And it's like
I am
he's
indeed
too
endowed
thick.
with the cake.
For me, I sit on my
You-
throne.
you
I have
use
a
it
squatty
still, right?
potty.
No.
You don't use it anymore?
I literally the only time I use it is to fill up water bottles.
That's
do not,
disgusting.
bro.
Oh, that's disgusting.
But dude,
Get the fuck outta here.
I'm
cum
gonna
water.
have to fucking leave.
Shit piss and cum
Shit,
water.
piss and cum water, bro.
No, I literally only
It's
use
like
it when I just
cum
don't
water.
feel like using toilet paper. That's it.
So what was the question?
I think
But yeah,
oh,
back to the
bidet,
thing
bidet.
about having things that are like that I thought was luxurious.
Yeah. It was.
Oh,
What
yeah.
did you think was a rich person thing? Until you realized it was not. It was very affordable.
I'm gonna mention mine. It's gonna sound really absurd or actually unreal, but internet,
Just Wi-Fi.
just internet in general, because it wasn't until I was around 6th grade when we actually got internet at home, because me coming from a very low, like not a very low. I mean, I wouldn't say that we were dirt poor or anything, but we were low. We were a low income kind of family, and for the longest time, we didn't have internet or anything like that. And then which is why, like, when I got like my Xbox 360 and all that, I played like literally 90% of that without Xbox Live or anything like that. It wasn't until like when Halo Reach came out or something like that.
Oh yeah, I was like I was like the last one of my friends to get Xbox Live. Like everybody had it,
Yeah.
and I was just still playing like offline MW2 with my brother, split screen
Yeah.
for like years.
Yeah, that or
Yeah,
he would just
same
roll
here.
over to my house.
Yeah.
I would go to Joe's house just to play on his Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Same. I did that with
Just to
with
play
another
Xbox
friend of mine.
Halo 3 online. That
Yeah.
shit was
It was always
sick.
it was so surreal to me seeing people playing like Halo 3 and like that. What was the name of that one game type? Speed Halo and all that shit. Where like
Yeah.
where like the zombie was in the middle and then like all the humans would drive like what's it called, mongooses and
Infected?
shit. Yeah.
That was a fun mode. I think
was-
my
yeah, it
favorite was
was.
probably SWAT, just headshotting people.
Which
SWAT's
had-
fun as
SWAT is
fuck.
fun.
Yeah.
Fact, I fuck with that shit.
Yeah.
Especially Reach.
Requires no skill, but all the skill at the same time.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah, that depends.
You gotta
Because
click
like
heads,
you have
bro.
to be good at aiming, but you also have to be good at knowing where like people are and stuff.
That takes skill.
Map memorization.
You said no skill.
It takes no skill because it's not super hard, but it also takes all the skill at the same time.
Well, it's an even playing field.
Yeah.
So I think it's leaning more on the skill side than
Anyone can pop off in that game.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. I think personally mine was the like the warthog parkour stuff that people made in Forge. That shit was the best.
Oh hell yeah.
Like that I forget what it was called. I think it was like called Cat and Mouse. I think that was the actual official.
Cat and Mouse. That's that game type has to do with like the zombies are in wraiths and the humans are in like in ghosts and shit.
Oh yeah, no, that was fun too. But
yeah,
no, the warthog parkour stuff was really good.
I don't remember there being any warthog parkour or anything like that.
It was normally like people would make custom maps in Forge. It was never like official stuff.
Oh, okay.
That was always fun. That was always a good time.
I guess
just the internet, John.
I guess having a computer would be mine. Like I played console my whole life and stuff, and I got a laptop, and that was a pretty big step for me because I've never had my own personal like computer. And then when I got that, I was like, I want an actual desktop. And then from there, it's been super fun. But like, yeah, no, I just never thought I was gonna like save money. I thought I was gonna have to get like a big boy job and like, spend like a ton of money for it, or at least to get a computer that's super super nice or whatever. But yeah, no, computers were something that I thought that I would never get, but it turns out it's actually really affordable.
Well,
and I think
computer.
I never really had computers for the longest time until like I got into 6th grade and we got internet at our house as well.
Right. I think a lot of it is because our concept of money changed when we actually had to get a job. Like, because when you're a little kid, like even like a McDonald's meal is like, you think that's an expensive thing for your parents to shell out for, but it's really just like $6-7. It's like super cheap. So like it used to be such a privilege. I don't know if it was to you guys, but when my parents would get us like McDonald's, it would be a super like privileged thing.
Yeah.
I'd be like, that's insane. They actually got us McDonald's, boys. But now it's like $7. You just like I just go at midnight and I just like get
that
like,
shit like nothing.
like
that's
nothing.
a fucking vibe right there. Yeah. For me, like I don't know about you guys. In elementary school, when somebody's parents would show up with fucking like whatever, like bring them like Sonic.
Oh, dude.
That shit was like to me was like the top tier of privilege.
Yeah, I used to think those were the richest kids.
I'd be like, fuck you.
I remember,
fuck you for having nice food.
Yeah, I remember back in elementary school, there was one girl who always like had just her mother show up all the time. And I always thought that was awesome until I found out that her mother was actually worked as a janitor there too.
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
That's a bro moment.
I mean,
Respect the hustle. Respect the
But
hustle.
I mean,
I
I respect the hustle and all that stuff,
I mean, like, yeah,
because I also worked as a janitor too. So.
Oh, did you?
True.
Yeah.
Where at?
Harmony. That little like private.
The dating website.
Yeah, eHarmony.
Yeah.
Clean up
Harmony,
all the
clean up
fucking
after
bad-
people's messes.
Clean it up.
Jesus, dude, that's gross.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, it was always like, I would always be like, hey, Dad, you should bring me fucking Sonic for lunch. That'd be super cool. Like, I'd always suggest it because I'm like, that'd be awesome. Like, I'd love to be that kid because that was the kid that everybody would sit next to and be like envious. Like, oh, that motherfucker got Sonic. He got Chick-fil-A, dude. What the fuck is this, dude? I'm eating fucking gray cafeteria food. And he's over there balling.
I was thinking about it. I saw some shit on Twitter. They really had us eating chicken sandwiches and pizza with chocolate milk, bro.
Dude, that shit's
We
so
had
nasty
chocolate
nowadays, dog.
Strong bones.
True,
I mean,
strong bones.
true. Not gonna name her, but you know who she is. She got bird bones. Don't like milk, dude.
Bruh.
Bruh, that's a bruh moment.
Bird bones.
Jeez.
Wait,
Bird
so
bones.
that means her bones are brittle?
Yeah. Like
Bird
light bones.
Like no milk.
She's not thick bones?
She wouldn't drink milk. She hated it. She was the only kid. I think she was the only kid in the entire school who wouldn't drink milk.
Only kid in the entire
Well, I mean, there's a
fucking-
shit ton of people nowadays.
zip code.
That
Yeah.
despise
I'm
milk and all
pretty
that.
much like
Which I
lactose
kinda
now.
don't
If I eat
understand,
cereal, I gotta
honestly.
shit after.
Yeah,
Really?
I can't drink milk either because I'm like hella lactose intolerant. Like last episode, just
Jeez.
busting ass constantly.
That was bad.
That was bad. But
That's not a bit, by the way.
I'm just
Jesus.
saying, like
That's not a
lactose
fucking
and me
joke.
ain't get along, boys.
I'm not lactose intolerant.
Nah, I
I'm
can
good.
drink milk all fucking day.
No, I just
But
used
if
to
it's
always.
gas station chocolate milk. That shit will give me the shits.
Oh, the fucking
same.
the Mooyah? No, not Mooyah, but the
Yahoo?
Gordon shit. The
Yeah,
one
I
with the
think
cow.
I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, Gordon gave me like bubble guts like crazy. Like I'd just be like, all right, I'm gonna have
Yeah, but
with the
specifically
toot
the
little bit.
chocolate milk.
to. Dude.
I used to always just wonder whose like parents just has time to dip out of their work and bring their kid lunch and sit with them and eat with them. I'm
Right.
Like, what kind of privileged fucking life do you live?
Oh, it depends.
My
like,
parents are working their fucking ass off.
Same here.
if my mom was doing her job now, when I was a kid, she would now, but back then she worked as a teacher, and she just wouldn't never have time. She'd be like, bitch, you can eat too, or eat the school food and stuff. So I never got the chance to get like out of school food and stuff until like senior year in high school, where I just dipped a bunch.
Yeah, it was like, now I can just do it myself.
Yeah.
Who needs anybody? Yeah,
That's the
no,
best.
that was always the biggest like, that was always the best part about senior year, was it was just like, nobody gave a shit, so you could just leave campus and go get food and come back, and really, you could fuck around pretty much all day and get pass.
That was literally right up until I think we graduated. Then it's not like, I know like right now it's fucking small. I guess last year it was super like smackdown. Like you cannot leave whatsoever.
Yeah, they would have
shootings
homeboy
and
on the
shit.
go kart chase you out in the parking lot.
Yeah, but dude,
You know what I'm talking about?
Have you seen?
bro, he was like a fucking what was
Cop, mall cop.
it? No. I'm trying to think. It's something from media. It's like a person, but they've like melted into a big ball.
What the fuck?
I'll figure it out later. It's like a thumb. Imagine if a thumb was made out of like sludge.
A thumb sludge?
Yeah, like just imagine like a sludge ball. That was this guy. Like he was probably like 500 pounds. The guy who would ride in the go kart.
He's like 6'3".
I was talking about the other guy.
Oh, you're talking about
Lester.
homeboy.
Lester.
Homeboy.
No, we can say Lester.
Lester. Yeah.
Yeah, Lester's cool.
Yeah. No. Okay.
Lester's
I thought you were
badass.
talking about the other guy.
He was the best, but he was a tryhard, bro.
But yeah, but I mean, like he was cool.
He was-
Did
he
you ever
was
see him
funny.
out there directing the buses,
I have, yes.
like dancing around? That was hilarious.
Lester was always really funny because he would stop by my old workplace when I worked in food service, and he would just be such a dick, but in like a funny type of way. Like he comes in, he's like roasting everybody behind the counter. He's going off on Mick. He's going off on Jose. He's just busting off on everybody, and it's just real funny because you're like, and then you see him in school and he's PG. No curse words, just complete normal guy. And then you see him outside of fucking school and he's just like the biggest prick to everybody. It's great.
Who, Lester?
Yeah. He would literally come in and just roast people, just raw. He would burn you to the ground
Well, I've never heard him.
while
roast
you're
anybody.
taking his order.
You don't know who this is?
No, I know who Lester is.
Okay.
Like I obviously know. We all went to the same high school.
Yeah.
And shit
Yeah.
Like that,
Football tickets.
Yeah.
Oh my Christ!
I love that.
but I mean,
Yeah.
I never really interacted with all like the hall monitors or anything like that.
You didn't vibe with the hall monitors, bro?
Not
No,
really.
he said fuck 12.
Basically, yeah. Fuck 12.
Fuck 12. Yeah, no. See, I always loved that people would just skip the assemblies.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, same. Like, well, for us, what we do is I had
I skipped it since I was freshman year.
I
Really?
had
Just dip out.
Yeah,
I had
basically. I mean,
graphic design with, you guys know who it is. I'm not gonna name him, but
Yeah.
And I would literally just walk out the front doors of the building, walk across the road, and then just go home. Because once you're off school campus, they can't do anything.
Yeah.
They've had the monitors try to chase people off. Or what they did is they like contact the police and they
Yeah.
would like chase people
Yeah.
off.
I
I
mean,
remember.
try to
I
bring 'em
remember a
back.
long time
Good
ago.
luck.
My brother and like a group of friends of theirs, they were skipping school and like they wanted to talk about and shit like that. And then
That's the
And
worst
then-
place to go because that's literally across
yeah,
the street.
it's literally across the street. And then like I guess one of them was on lookout and they saw Lester coming up, and then he just shouted Lester, and then everyone just fucking scrammed.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
They had a lookout, bro.
you know what's funny? Lester's really fast.
Yeah.
By the way, he
You
used
could book it.
He
dude.
used to play football for the school. Like that, my dad knows Lester.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's a legend.
Local
Pretty much.
legend.
They're gonna have
Local legend
They're gonna
Lester
have a
boys.
like,
Local
statue of his
legend
one day, I
Lester.
bet.
All I'm saying is you would not want to get chased by him because he was really fucking fast. Like people slept on Lester.
He's also
Yeah,
like
heard.
5'2". So
yeah,
he's
so I mean he
he's
books
not,
it.
Yeah, he's a small guy, but he's very loud and very he takes up space when he's like around. He sorry.
He's
he
got a
makes
big
himself-
personality.
Yeah, he makes himself present or
Yeah.
known.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what was the principal, Smith.
Boob.
Yeah.
Boob.
He was the same way though. Big personality.
I saw him do a backflip.
What?
today.
Actually?
It was like a handspring but backflip. Yeah.
Dude, he's a big dude.
Oh, I've heard of that. Yeah.
That would be
Wait,
impressive.
who?
Yep. Coach Smith did a handspring backflip.
Hmm.
It was his last year doing track, and he was like,
Fuck it.
if I can do a backflip, you guys can run, like 12 miles or whatever.
Oh my
And
god, that's not
he did it, and I was like, well, fuck, I guess I'm running 12 miles.
Christ.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
I run
No,
one,
dude,
and I'm like, I'm out.
The only one that I remember is
Oh yeah, the thumb dude.
Yeah.
I thought
That's who
what
I'm talking about. Yeah, I
That's
didn't
who
know
you're
his
talking
name.
about?
I didn't know his name. Yeah.
I forgot his name, but I just know that everyone around him called him because like
Talking about the big guy?
yeah,
yeah,
literally.
he always
because
I see him at
used to
Kroger
work,
all the time.
He used to work at the gay bar.
No, really? He used to work
Yes.
Oh,
That's where he got his nickname from.
that's some funny
Wait,
shit.
really?
It
Yes.
looks like a catfish, like an actual like human catfish.
That's
Like
why-
it looks like a beanbag.
I imagine
bro.
he's a nice guy.
It looks like chewed gum if it was a person.
That's why
Chewed gum.
everyone. That's why he always hated it when people at
Chewed
school called him.
I mean, he worked at a gay bar, boys. Let's be real.
Yeah.
How do we know that? That sounds like a BS.
That
rumor.
does-
I've just like
Folklore, boys.
I've heard
So
from
you've
people.
heard?
I've
Yeah.
heard from people. Yeah.
From people. Little rumor.
a little rumor.
I mean, there's
rumor
always
there.
rumors going fucking
Back in my
around.
hometown,
Going around fucking
there's
high
a guy
school.
named.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's why he always hated it when. Well, and he made it obvious. He obviously hated it when people called him and all that shit.
People called him that? I've never seen
Yeah,
that,
no,
bro.
I've
you
seen
ever
it all the
really
time.
I've never seen him talk though. Like never.
I have.
Like,
He
Yeah,
kicked
he
me
never.
out.
He always just walks around and like
Or-
looks mean.
He like gross.
Normally,
Or
yeah.
breathe. I've never seen him breathe either.
I've been
Yeah,
kicked.
he's just a
Dead ass.
robot.
He's just like posting up, just all
Just
fucking
floating around.
stoic and shit. Just like.
Yeah, I've been kicked out of the school once by him.
Really?
Yeah.
It was after school, but like, when it's like so hot outside and like you just want to chill inside the school until your ride comes.
Yeah.
He's kicked like a group of people out, and like
You just like.
I tried to stay in, but he was like, get out. I was like, fuck.
Hey, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Messed
well,
up. You're just trying to vibe in the building for the AC.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
guess I'm going back outside. Guess.
Yeah.
You know what was always ridiculous, right? The rule that we all had to wear belts.
Oh, I never followed. I mean,
Dress
I
code?
followed belts,
Yeah,
but I
like-
never fucking tucked my shirt in.
Well,
or
like
anything
that
bullshit.
for guys, dress code was literally just wear a belt and don't sag your pants. But the thing is, by the time
Wear
they
a-
implemented that rule, nobody really sags anymore. Not really. Not like it was like back whenever they made it.
like
It
in
was-
middle school or in
The,
high
the
school.
main
High
the-
school.
the main
Okay.
thing was tucking in your shirt. The belt part wasn't really a big deal, but tucking in your shirt was heavily.
That was the
enforced.
main thing.
They're like tuck in your shirt or wear a jacket. And
Yeah, I never did that shit.
I always wear a
That
jacket.
was always so
yeah.
weird to me. Like, why do they enforce that so much?
Because they don't want to see people's butt cracks. That's kind of.
That's probably just. The
But
Yeah,
then
they
women's
try to
dress
stop
code
sagging.
was like super lenient, which was always bullshit. Cause
no,
you-
if they show their
Huh.
ankles, that's GG.
I
Yeah.
wish. No, it was like.
put on clothes.
I mean, don't get me wrong. As a guy,
Don't have shit
I'm
that
glad it
exposes
was
your
lenient. But
shoulders.
you know, I feel
Oh,
like
yeah.
I feel
Hey,
like if,
shoulder blades, they fucking.
They got it. They
Them
got
things
it.
be.
I feel like if we're held to a certain standard, it should be equal, right?
Jesus Christ.
So I don't know. Shit.
Fucking Skyler.
When
Look
a
at them
girl
shoulder
Beating their
blades.
meat over
blades,
over
dude.
female shoulder blades, dude.
Oh!
Wait, what?
When you see your shoulder blades.
Oh yeah, no, hey,
Oh.
deadass. Shoulder blades be doing it. It's not the most erotic thing, but it's, good shoulder blades is usually a good sign.
So since we're talking about high school bullshit, what's a good time that y'all have had somebody in class have a dialogue with a teacher that's like entertain the whole class? Like, y'all ever had some dumbass kid?
Man.
Like,
I'm trying to think because we've had like a good set of stories, me and Matt, and like in
Yeah.
specific classrooms and shit like that. But
There's a
I'm
lot.
trying to think.
There's a lot.
Oh, what that time when that one kid he asked our economics teacher what he thought of Trump, and then our
oh
economics
no, dude.
and then our economics teacher the first thing he said he just straight up said, "Oh, she's a clown." You remember?
clown?
You remember?
Mr.
You know
H?
what's
Does he know that? Really?
Yeah, you don't remember?
Y'all gonna expose him
I
like
don't
that?
think,
I didn't want to, but he
Fuck
was
it.
like, "Oh, Mr.
Mr. I
it.
said Mr. H. I didn't say him. I
well,
didn't say his
whatever."
name.
Now, well,
No, that's
clearly,
fine.
clearly for that now, but
It doesn't matter. That's funny. I don't think I remember that one too much.
I remember clearly, yeah.
Yeah,
That, but I mean, his class was pretty lit. I mean, the majority of the time we would normally just sit there and watch like Shark Tank and stuff like that.
that shit was
but
lit, dude. Shark Tank's fucking
it was
vicious.
it was pretty damn lit.
Dude, there was this fight video that actually like went viral. That was in like one of the older history teacher classes at Bryan
Deadass?
or at,
Wait, what?
at high school.
Shit.
Wait, what happened?
There was a fight video that went viral that was in this classroom. He was an old white guy with white hair. He taught history. I forget who he was.
Was he tall?
Doesn't matter.
I think I know who you're talking about.
There,
I think
yeah,
I
there
know.
was this
I
fight
think-
video.
I
I saw
think.
I keep seeing it on meme pages. Well, like a bit ago. I saw it on
Dang.
meme pages
It's been
and
a
stuff.
minute, yeah.
Because it was a good. It was like the one where the wrestler kid flips the the Mexican dude.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember that. That shit
Yeah.
was funny.
that was here.
Oh,
That was a
I know exactly who the professor
Yeah.
you're talking about. Yeah.
I
Fucking, I'm not gonna say his name, but
think
yeah.
we've already. Fuck it.
I mean, at this point, we've
I
been
want to see
name
this
dropping
now
left
because
and
I
right,
don't think I've
boys.
seen it.
Really? It's
No.
a pretty good video.
Have I seen it?
Because
I don't know.
the
I haven't
kid
seen it.
the kid tries to swing on him and the wrestler kid like jukes it and he picks him up and just slams him.
I mean, wrestlers just in general are just the worst people you could pick up.
Oh yeah, because he immediately got him on the ground and that's
Yeah.
GG.
Yeah, and that's Fat Jeej.
Imagine going famous for getting your ass whooped.
I know.
I know, right?
That's I mean,
There are worse
I mean,
ways to go, boys.
There are worse ways to
There are
go.
worse
Also,
ways to
any
go.
publicity is decent. So like,
Any
fuck
good-
it.
any-
Not if
all
you're getting your fucking
publicity is
head
good
stomped
publicity.
on.
I
There's
mean,
no like.
Hey, Shovel Girl, dude.
What?
Shovel Girl.
Do you guys not remember that
She's
video?
got an OnlyFans, bro.
The one who got
No.
the chick who
No,
gets the fucking
Shovel Girl.
thrown
Do
at-
you know the video of the girl where she walks away from a fight and gets hit with a shovel?
Oh yeah, she gets a shovel thrown at her.
Don't
Yeah.
tell me you've never seen
Or
that.
how about Lil
Yeah.
Pump saying 70?
I was watching a YouTube video by a guy named Wavy Web Surf, and all he does is like internet history videos. Like he goes over like memes from the
Yeah.
past, and he was going
kind of
through,
explains them or what?
and he was saying that apparently the girl who threw the shovel, it like ruined her life.
Really?
Yeah, and the girl who got hit by the shovel, apparently it got her. I don't think it made her much money, but it made her clean up her act.
Really?
So crazy shit. Yeah.
How did it ruin the other
Yeah.
chick's life?
I forget the exact reasoning. I remember it ruined
How
his
did they
People
find out
just
who-
hated her. It's like
How'd they find
yeah.
out who it was?
It's not hard.
What do you mean?
True.
A
yeah.
video-
Wait, in
I
that
got
video that
hit
she
in the
showed,
head
that thing
with
went,
a
like,
shovel. Who did it? This
That
girl.
thing went super viral. That
Yeah,
was like
yeah.
there was
Yeah, but
news
in the
stories
vi-
on them.
in
They
the-
had their names
in the
and
video.
shit.
Oh, okay.
If you
okay.
have someone's name, you can find out a lot
Okay.
of
Well,
fucking
that-
shit about them. Bro.
Okay.
The easiest way to find it is who uploaded it.
Yeah, and then just ask them.
Yeah, well, like you can ask them, or you can just go look through all of their friends,
Oh, okay.
and you'll find out who you're looking
So
for.
just straight up stalk.
Yeah,
them
if like
then,
if you have their name, you
Okay.
can get their mom's Facebook, and
Yeah.
you can get
yeah, because like even at
shit like
like
that.
our high school, right? I think we have like 1,000 people.
probably more.
No name
More.
drop the high school, but yeah,
Easily more.
Like easily more than 1,000
Probably
people.
4K.
But per grade level, you're talking maybe like 300 a grade level. That's
Yeah.
not that many people to look through, even if
Yeah.
you find somebody who has every single one added. So
Yeah.
realistically, not that hard to find somebody's last name, especially if you're really deep diving. Like what was it? Somebody found, I think it was Soda Poppin'. They found his house off of a single frame of a street sign outside,
Really?
or something stupid. Yeah, no, internet people are crazy, dude. Like they can find.
Well, yeah.
I
You
remember
can
there
like
was
reverse
this,
image search shit too, like, and it just pops up. Stuff.
I remember I read an article about like this Korean chick who like their stalker ended up finding out who she was because she uploaded like I don't know if it was a picture of herself or a selfie.
It was a selfie on a train, I think, is what you're talking about. Right?
It was like yeah, I think so. It was
like
like,
the
a
reflection
selfie
in
and the,
glasses.
the reflection of like her eyelids. Or,
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
of,
Oh,
like,
it
her
showed
eyes.
like a
reflection-
sign or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it showed like it showed something like in
And somebody was able to
obviously in
use
front of
that
her.
to find where she was.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
That's
Brilliant.
insane.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
But
I mean, hey.
But speaking about internet fame, you remember that one chick who does like, who like cosplayed as like some cheerleader girl and like did the hit or miss thing in
It's a guy.
TikTok?
That's not a
No.
guy.
It's
it not
not.
a guy?
No, it's
I've
not a
already
chick.
told you.
It's not a chick.
Wait, what?
No, I mean it's not a guy.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
I meant to
yeah,
say.
yeah.
It's not
It's
a
a
guy.
chick.
It's an actual girl.
I don't know.
Wait, did us?
Would have fooled
No,
me.
it's an actual girl.
Dead ass.
Yeah.
Yes, the
And then
original.
she-
hit or
and then,
miss.
like,
I don't know
she,
if it's
like-
the original. But.
She did like in.
What's up, dude?
Hey, what's up, dude?
Oh, dude.
Record
Not
another
much, but
episode
dude,
of the
we're just
podcast.
recording
Connor's
another
back for his.
His second debut on the podcast.
Second debut.
I mean, one day we might have him on when we get the 5th mic set up. If he would like to join, he can.
Bad bet, dude.
You got any stories from high school you want to quick drop as your way on your way out? Spice it up a little.
One of you gives me your email address, I might be able to share the video of Joe's.
No, you fucking won't.
No speed dabbing.
That's not happening.
Bro, my man was zooming.
I will hurt you.
My man was zooming.
I was. And I've grown a lot since then as a person.
Bro, that hair.
So don't
though.
keep sludging me like that, dog.
Joe, what happened with that hair though?
What do you mean, like right now?
No, with that hair back in that video, dude.
Oh, dude, no, I used to have a UFO in my head. Oh, no, so I think, do you still have that photo?
Which
There-
one?
there's a photo of me where my hair is literally like
Later,
this.
dude.
Like, it's a fucking beautiful
Yeah.
halo.
It's like a friar
bro.
haircut.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a gnarly
I
hair.
haven't
dude.
seen it.
You definitely were the one who.
Oh,
sent
I
it.
took the photo.
Yeah, you
actually.
put it in the chat. I remember.
it's-
I was getting roasted. But we're at about 30 minutes, so we should go ahead and cut for a little ad break, and then we'll be right back.
All right.
All right, we're back.
Cock.
Nice. Solid.
Huh?
Solid intro.
been 30 minutes.
Thought it was
So
longer.
our next Reddit
I
question.
thought it was shorter.
Right. What's the most high risk, low reward thing you've ever done?
Podcast.
High risk, low reward. This podcast, yeah.
High risk. This isn't really high risk for any of us except for Joe because he bought everything.
True.
High risk thing though, honestly,
I'm risking my time.
Graduating high school.
Low reward.
Yeah.
Graduating high school.
Honestly, though, college.
College too.
Kind of, yeah. A lot of stress, not really much reward coming out of it.
It really just depends on your thing, man. Like it really just depends on what you do with college. Because college in itself isn't a bad thing, but the thing is, like, it really just depends on what you do while inside college.
Yeah, I definitely have probably the best answer.
Okay.
Saying I love you too early. Very high risk, very low rewards, brother.
Going for that hug in Taco Bell.
Oh God! Well, don't even remind me, brother.
What?
No, we're not talking about.
We're
it.
not talking
Stop.
about it.
Stop.
The
Why is
people-
everybody roasting
The people
me?
want to know.
Because you're making it obvious.
The people want to know.
Fine. Okay, I'm a behemoth. She was not. I tried to hug her. Things did not go well. That's the story. Fuck off.
She spilled her drink because Joe knocked it in. Like, Joe knocked it into
I am
her.
6'9" tall. When
thought
I
you were
hug somebody,
6'8".
I am almost always hugging their like neck. If they're lucky.
Spill his drink.
She almost broke her spine, actually.
I wish.
In that, yeah.
It would have been way less
Wait,
tragic.
why do you wish?
Because then I would have went to jail and my life would have ended there. It would have been
Okay.
easier.
Jesus.
Jeez.
I would never have
High
speed
risk.
dabbed on camera.
High risk, low reward.
I don't even know this. What are y'all talking about? Speed dead.
Back in high school.
Is there a video?
Yes, Connor has it on his phone. There was when this was when dabbing was cool.
Was this in Magoo class?
No, this was not Magoo. This was definitely in.
I like that.
I forget what it was. It was like towards the end of the year when we weren't like really in classes. Like we did a lot of roaming. And I remember I would go up to people and be like, bro, watch how fast I can dab. I can dab so fast. Like faster than the speed of light. And I'd sit there and I'd fucking... And it was, it was a fun time. And now I regret every moment of it because now every time I'm having a good moment, Connor's like, have you seen the video? And I'm like...
I've seen the video.
Yeah, I know. He
You
showed it
were
to you
zooming.
last Friday.
You were
Yeah, it's
zooming.
great.
You were zooming, dude. It looked like you were zooming.
Long story short, my high school career is littered with cringy moments. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Same here.
Well, you're just a big dude and you carry yourself a little weird, so it's just like you're just kind of an outcast when you're in a room doing anything.
That's facts.
Speaking of facts, only facts.
I mean,
OnlyFans?
if we're talking about that high risk, high reward, low reward, I would have to say the first time I actually tried like, asking out a girlfriend. You know about this?
Yeah,
Matt?
I could definitely.
I don't know about this.
I've done that same thing, brother.
Like, I don't know if I would count this as like an actual relationship or anything, but like the only relationship that I've been in only lasted like a week. And
Really?
yeah.
Hey, bro, one day.
I mean,
Top my record.
you were right.
Top my record.
Holy shit!
Oh,
Damn,
dude.
I think I was there for that.
You were there for the whole train wreck, dude.
20
But I
minutes.
mean, I wouldn't even consider
I
it because
got you beat 20 minutes.
How?
Dead
Where?
ass. Dead
You're
ass.
lying, bro.
Nope, dead ass.
No
20
way.
minutes?
Freshman year, yes sir. I went to a outside school. This was before I transferred. I liked this one girl. I talked to her for literally one day, and then I asked her out. It was to Sadie's. I think Sadie's was that night. I asked her to go out, and she was like, "Yeah, sure." And then after I did that, we both were like, actually no, hold on, and then just
Wait,
like ended it
that
because
was
she
in a
actually
relationship, though.
it wasn't a relationship. Well, how was
Wait,
how was a
pause.
week
Wait,
or a day?
quick second.
relationship
Though.
goal.
Doesn't Sadie's supposed to be the other way around, where like the chick asks?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I was just saying like I asked her out around Sadie's. Like, it was the night prior or
Okay.
the day of or whatever. The fuck.
I was about to say, yeah, because the thing is, if you're not a traditionally attractive dude, Sadie's is kind of a joke for you because it's like,
Yeah.
ain't nobody gonna ask you.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be
I feel you,
frank.
dude.
If you have any defects at all,
I feel
that
you.
shit
dude.
ain't happening.
Never had that problem.
Any defects?
Matt, you
Like
got
being
are
a
you calling
ginger?
your height?
Matt,
We all got defects. All
Being a
right?
ginger
Oh,
is
I
a
never had
disease.
that
I'm
specific
a
problem.
little bigger, you know.
Oh, I thought you were gonna talk about your height.
Okay, my height is both a blessing and a curse because some
tall.
bitches love tall dudes, like especially
agree.
short girls.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Apparently, that's the thing. It's like short bitches want a guy who's
They
like
want their fucking
8 foot
back
tall.
broke.
They want
They want their back
I was
blown
gonna say,
out.
They just don't want to
dude,
bruise their knees.
They just want you to choke slam her, dude.
Oh shit!
Jesus Christ.
They don't want to bruise their knees. I guess just stand up.
Yeah, she just.
Jesus.
Yeah, dude. Bro, I use her like a propeller, boys.
I can see some shit happening like that happening to you, Joe. I can see that being possible.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is, I'm not really that interested in short girls.
Ah.
I don't like tall hoes either. Don't get the shit twisted.
You like tall girls?
I don't. If a girl is over 6 foot, she's not necessarily too
She belongs to
tall.
the streets.
She belongs to the streets, but
Belongs to the
also
streets.
It's better genes. Like was it? Swedish girls are normally pretty tall, and they're rated like the #1 most attractive.
Oh yeah, they're all just like blonde, like
They're blonde hair,
models.
blue eyes, giant, smart people.
it just depends because the thing is like, have you guys seen? I know Jorge's seen it because he sent it to me. There was this girl who's like 6'10", so she'd be an inch taller than me, right? But the thing is, at a certain point, like even as a man, your proportions fuck up. Like the human body is kind of meant for 5'9". That's when proportions are best.
I'm
Talk
so-
about Gmod when your fucking
I'm
limbs
so
stretch
tall.
out. And shit.
Exactly. Well, because like for example, my arms proportionally to my body are actually longer than my torso. So I have an ape index. That's the name of what this is called. So your width from fingertip to fingertip, if it's plus or minus your height, whatever that is, that's your ape index. So I have an ape index of +2, which means that my arms are 2 inches longer than my height. So I have a 6'11" grip.
Your
I
wing-
can pick something up that's
So
6.
your
11.
wingspan
Well, that's not
is
how
like
that works.
so your wingspan
Well,
is like
I have
two-
I mean, you can't pick something.
I have the reach to do
Yeah.
a 6'11".
You can put your
so
arms
your-
around
so
the
your
6'11".
wingspan is like 4 inches taller than your height.
It's 2 inches.
Too.
2?
Yeah,
Oh,
2
so
inches.
it's like 1 inch each
1
side.
inch. Yeah, 1 inch.
Oh, okay.
So-
I thought you meant 2 inches each side.
No, it's
Okay.
it's 1 inch each side.
My man has a big wingspan. Dude.
No, I do. Like if I forget what that is for like birds. I think it's like
Bird up.
it's like an eagle or something. It's like the biggest birds you can find. That's pretty much
Vulture?
what it'd be. Vulture. No, I remember when
California condor.
we went to camp, whatever. I forget the name of it.
Camp Cock and Balls.
Camp Cock and Balls. They had this fucking diagram, and they're like, your
You're a
wingspan,
vulture,
your
dude.
wingspan is a blue-breasted booby, right? And we were all fucking dying because like that was mine.
Lol.
That's your spirit animal.
You remember the Halo God? You remember who I'm talking about?
No. Oh yeah.
Our
D.
classmate, yeah, D. Me and him had the same wingspan, but he was like 2 inches shorter than me. And this
my
is in
God.
elementary school.
Oh, that looks weird, dude.
My man.
But bro, we were blue-breasted boobies together, bro. That's what really mattered. That was the homie shit, dude.
Blue-breasted.
Bro, that was the worst trip of my life. Because I remember on the way back, I was like one of the only
Something like
kids.
Camp Allen.
Yeah,
Camp
Fuck
Allen's-
it.
Y'all did that shit
Fine.
too?
Camp
yeah.
Allen's
We went
sick.
we went
I
to
like
Camp
it.
Allen, but I got
Camp Allen was
I
the
got
worst for
like
me, bro.
heat
Camp
sick.
Allen was cool for me, but we
Like
got
heat
stuck in
stroke,
the middle of the
or not
lake.
heat stroke, but like what, like, you know, what's it called?
I made out with
stroke?
a girl. Camp Allen.
Nice.
I had a broken arm the entire time, Camp Allen, and I had a cast, and I was literally basically a handicap.
Bro, I just remember.
I had to have, when I got on the boats to go out in the water, I had to have somebody on my
Oh, the
back
ca-
and
the
front,
canoes?
yeah, the canoes, and I couldn't paddle. They had to like handicap
You were sitting.
me.
You were that one kid.
Yeah.
sitting in the
I
middle?
literally had to sit there and like do this.
Bro,
Nah,
and
dude,
I couldn't paddle.
dude,
me
we
and
were
D'Angelo, the
when
whole
we were-
time we were just talking about online or Roblox.
Really?
The whole time.
Why
that was
Roblox?
Roblox.
That was
the shit?
that was relevant back in elementary school. That was new in elementary school
Really?
for us. Yeah, like we were in like third, fourth grade.
Something like that.
Do you guys remember that demo they did
Roblox
with
was
the
a
fire
thing.
truck? Where
No.
they had us like they had like this like RV thing and it's supposed to it's rigged up to like simulate a fire and like the doorknob's hot and stuff and it's supposed to be like
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. I thought you were talking about in Roblox. I do remember that.
Yeah, and I don't remember much about it. I just
don't
remember them
remember
being
that
like
at
you
all.
don't touch doorknobs if you're in a fire.
It was like a fire. It was like a 911 fire thing. They brought a fire truck to the school, and they
Yeah,
like.
we had that. We had fire trucks.
That's
being
what
brought
you're
Do
to
you
talking
remember?
about.
Yeah. Do you remember the thing with the helicopter
Yeah, that was
that they
actually really
did?
cool.
Yeah, in high school, that
Like-
was crazy. I didn't even expect it, and then I kept hearing down the fucking grapevine people like, yeah, dude, they're gonna fly a helicopter in today. I'm like, what? Why? And they're like, I
They're
don't
gonna
know.
mow down the.
You
Wasn't
remember-
wasn't
do
that a
you
lecture
remember
about
some
drunk
helicopter
driving?
shit that happened in our
What?
I think there was a drunk driving
school?
lecture.
I don't remember.
Because no,
I don't-
yeah,
I don't
they did the
remember this at
helicopter
all.
thing,
No.
and they took us all
There's
to the
probably some new
auditorium.
shit.
I remember in my freshman year I had a drunk driving like crash course or something, and outside of the cafeteria they had this like battered truck, and it's like, this could be you. I'm like,
You're
no,
dead.
it couldn't. I never drive this truck, or I don't drink, or
I mean,
something
go
like
look at Matt's
Yeah.
truck right now.
Bro,
Yeah, it's
all that,
fucked.
bro.
Yeah,
Speaking
scuff.
about elementary
But I
school and all that
hydroplaned.
stuff, you remember Dare?
Dare.
You mean-
how much
Like
of a joke
like
it was?
the drug.
You mean the
like
I just remember I
the
always
drug
wanted to,
and the tiger, like
bro. I just
the
remember
lion
I always wanted a
mascot. I
Dare
remember-
shirt, and I never got a Dare shirt.
that. Marijuana is no longer on the no drugs.
I
list.
remember I saw this thing on the book where it had like a picture of like the Dare mascot, and it said, "We all let this dude down."
Bro.
Yeah, no, dude, Dare was a failure. It literally created an entire generation of kids who knew more about drugs and narcotics than they were ever supposed to. And it actually ended up creating, and this is like statistical fact that Dare failed.
Yeah.
It actually created a culture of collecting drugs to try. And I was
Yeah.
like,
Bro.
that's retarded.
Wait, like,
Because-
what do you mean? Like,
Like people would be like, well, I know what LSD does.
all right.
I want to go into a place where I can see colors that shouldn't exist. That'd be sick.
I want to hear colors.
Yeah,
Bruh.
exactly. Yeah,
I heard red
pretty
last
sick.
week.
Yeah, and people are like, that sounds kind of lit though, and then they would do it, and then now you have a whole new fucking culture of drug users.
They've
especially
created
really.
monsters.
Exactly. I mean, like the thing is, it's natural, especially as a kid, to be curious about things that we don't understand. Like
Yeah.
before you smoke weed, you have no idea what smoking weed's like, but you're kind of interested. You're like, oh, it could be. People like it. People get
Yeah.
enjoyment out of it. So you're like, okay, cool. And whenever you actually tell kids what it does, now they have both a curiosity and a hankering to try it, and now they're
Yeah.
just like, okay, fuck it, why not? I know exactly what the repercussions of it are, but who cares?
Yeah.
And then they do it, and then bada boom, you have this whole culture of fucking.
It's because I think it's more commonly accepted now that it's just kind of a petty thing. It's really not that big a deal.
Well, it depends on which drug.
Well, I'm just talking about weed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, with
you're right.
weed specifically, I think the stereotype is kind of
The ganj.
fading away. I mean, they still the stereotype of being a lazy stoner is definitely still the thing. Like if it doesn't matter, that's
Yeah.
societal. That's gonna be hard to change. But like for things like meth, I don't think the perception of meth is really gonna change much.
It's never gonna go away. No, because meth
No.
Because-
actually kills you.
yeah, it
actually fucks you up.
It ruins you. It takes your soul away. Like that's what it does. If you believe there's a soul, it takes it away. So
Shit, I don't
The
have
thing
one
is, like-
anyway, bro. Rip.
Kids now are like so fucking sad. So like they're so aware of everything that is going on. So weed, in reality, is not even like as bad as like
weed falls into the same category as like alcohol and cigarettes. I think
Yeah.
to most modern
Basically.
teens.
Yeah.
But see, the thing is, we as a generation, like, I mean, we're not technically. I guess we're in the same generation.
Yes, we definitely are.
We're still in the same. Yeah, we're in the same generation. So, like, for us, when we were growing up, opiates weren't really a concern. Like Xanax and all that shit, that
Yeah.
wasn't much of a concern for us because it existed, but it wasn't the same as it is now. Now everybody uses opiates. Like that's the thing. Like with kids, especially.
That was also like an area thing, like a zonage thing. Like I was talking to Dave, my uncle, and he was saying that a lot of in West Virginia for him growing up, there was a lot of that stuff, like heroin and
I was sucking dick for some
a
crystal
lot of
meth.
sucking dick, a lot of family member
cousin
stuff
fuckers,
happening.
dude. Cousin fuckers.
Jesus.
No, but yeah, that's what he was saying for like
Hey,
West Virginia.
highest rate of incest in West Virginia.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah, because people always associate it with Alabama. I almost
Because-
just said Obama.
Obama's cousin fucking.
Yeah, no, that's actually facts. 'Cause I looked it up because I was curious. I was like, where is all the cousin fucking going on? And I was
He's
like,
curious. He
Plan
wants
on
to get in.
visiting?
West Virginia. Well, I don't
to
have
get in.
relatives there. We're good. We're solid, dude.
He wants to get in. He wants to join in.
But yeah, no, I was curious and I was like, oh, West Virginia, and then it's Alabama. Good to
Not
know.
surprisingly, I thought Alabama would
See,
be number one,
well,
but okay.
West Virginia.
The reason why I think the reason why West Virginia is because it's so isolated.
Forgetful? Oh.
It's so isolated. It's like North Dakota and South Dakota. Like there's nobody else out there
I
but
was,
your
I, was,
cousins.
I was about to say that. It's like, ain't nobody there.
They just get bored and they're like, "Fuck it, brother."
What are the closest females to me? My relatives.
My sister.
I love my mom. Yeah.
I'll fuck my sister. Like that type of mentality.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, like I don't know. West Virginians, man, they be nuts. That shit's crazy. I can't imagine that.
Can
No,
imagine
don't
it.
Don't
I
put
know
too
that
much
There, too.
disrespect on it. I have to tell Dave.
Okay.
He'll
I
beat
mean,
that ass.
Dave knows.
Yeah, you're right.
Dave's an intelligent individual. He doesn't need to. I don't think he'd take much offense to it, honestly.
No, he wouldn't.
Um,
That's why he got the fuck up out of there quick. Probably.
just yeets on out.
What do we got?
I don't know.
Next.
What's the next Reddit question? What two games, when combined, would make the best game ever?
Oh no.
Does it have to be video games or like?
It could be any game.
Probably. I mean,
Anything that falls under the category of game, but not sport. Get this shit twisted.
Okay.
It has to be video game. It can't be like.
Like if
It can't be like. Wait, why can't it be a sport?
I got one.
sport really isn't a game.
The
I got
fuck?
one. So you said game, not video game?
Wait, football's not a game.
Okay,
That's 100% a game.
Okay,
Like,
wait,
guys,
guys. All right, let's split into two categories. How about like actual physical games and then video games?
Well, because like board games are technically.
I was
also
gonna say,
games.
Yeah, but ain't no
We're
one
not
gonna talk
playing
about board
gambling.
games in this.
what was the game you played? Foursquare. So Foursquare and PUBG.
What?
Battle Royale.
That'd be kind of sick.
Battle Royale, but
Foursquare
it's Connect
Battle
4.
Royale?
Or not Connect 4, fucking Foursquare.
Battle Royale.
Wait, Foursquare's already a battle royale.
Oh,
You just
shit,
wanna-
wait.
Yeah, it's like you
I'm
guys
talking about 100 people, though.
I
100
think
squares.
maybe-
100 squares.
you gotta be watching your back. Every,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
no, the only
exactly.
people who are at advantage are the ones at the edge.
Yeah, that's how you get to the edge, though, because you move.
Oh, okay.
Those are the king spots.
So it's like
King's
Tetris except BR.
Basically.
Tetris BR is
Can we
stupid.
talk real quick about
They already have
Foursquare
that.
and how much BM goes on in Foursquare? Like people who fucking yell cherry bomb when they're king and just
Cherry bomb is the most cheese move. You can't cherry bomb.
It's not even. It's not even a real thing. Like that
It was
shouldn't
just
be
a made up
allowed.
thing.
Is that,
I remember the only
time.
time I played
Yeah,
Foursquare,
it's like
we always
you, like,
targeted
the king
this one
starts
person
every
with
round,
cherry
right?
bombs.
That's the point of being king is you get free start, right? And then cherry bomb is you literally jump up and yeet the ball at their square,
And
then
there's
you
like
get-
no chance.
Well, because you get it to the point to where like they're out of their square to go catch it.
Yeah, like
And at
tennis
this point-
basically.
Yeah, and you're talking about like when we used to play at our elementary school, that'd be like across a basketball court, and we're like 10, trying to yeet this thing back into somebody else's square from like cross court. Like it's small.
Oh, dude, the first time I played Foursquare was
Snapple.
in middle school, dude.
So I forget. Were you able to catch it or did you have to hit it?
To hit it.
You had to hit it. No, you couldn't
What?
catch.
You had to hit it.
In Foursquare, if
in-
someone hit it to your square, you had to hit it
the
back.
only time you
couldn't.
could catch it was during a cherry bomb. That
Oh,
was the-
okay.
that was the
Okay.
only time.
That was the one rule.
Because the thing is, if you didn't have that rule, there would be no way
There's
to
no
get
way,
it back. Yeah, because you would essentially be like hitting a volleyball across an entire basketball court and trying to hit a three pointer.
Trying to hit someone else's square.
Yeah, that and then they could just hit it right back to your square, and you're
Yeah.
so far out that there's no
Yeah.
way you're getting back.
Yeah.
That was the
Yep.
problem. You know what would be a real good one though? PUBG and wall ball.
Oh my god. Well, I think we can just say battle royale and wall ball.
Yeah, battle royale and wall ball. I think that'd be fun.
Oh no, like I've always like
Is that
video
already
games.
a
Yeah, it
battle
kind of
royale?
already is.
No, dude. Yeah, it already. Is.
It's already a battle royale.
Okay, how about this? Wall ball and ice skating.
Bruh.
That'd
This
be
is just,
that'd be kind of sick.
Ice
how
skating's
would
not really
you
a
even
game,
combine
though.
that? You're just, instead of walking or running, you're just skating around.
Okay, fine. I don't know. I'm trying here.
Yeah, you
Like we
tried.
did this.
Like,
Well,
I
we,
wish it at the
no,
wall and ain't coming back.
I
we
was
did this.
editing
We
it.
did this a lot back in like elementary school and then sometimes in middle school. We combined wall ball and soccer, but like instead of like but like the soccer aspect came to like instead of actually grabbing the ball and then having to throw it back into the wall, you'd have to kick it back into the wall.
Ooh.
So it was quicker, just pop, pop. It was like
Yeah,
a
it was.
light,
It was
fast.
basically hitting the ball, but with no arms. You had to use your legs.
Did you play with pegs? Oh, sorry. Did you play with pegs? Like meaning like
You hit people.
You,
Yeah,
you
you hit
slam.
people.
Yeah.
That was the
Yeah.
funnest way to play.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you hit the ball and it went out of bounds on it, like, on because like we had like boundaries on a wall. If it went out of bounds or something, and like you get called on it for that, you would have to line up on the wall.
Oh, that was
basically
the
get,
worst,
Getting
dude.
basically getting like fucked up by the firing squad or some shit, or
Firing squad?
No,
Or
no, not the
getting
firing squad, but
executed?
like they'd get
Get on the
they'd
wall,
get like the
bitch.
best kicker, and then you'd have to line up on the wall like this, and they get the best kicker, and then like you have to take it, you know?
Otherwise, you're a little bitch, basically.
Yeah,
Little weak, little scared little bitch.
But yeah, when it comes to video games, the one like when it comes to battle royale in video games, I always keep mentioning this. The one game that would be really good at battle royale is Halo.
Halo mixed with NBA 2K.
That's just grab
Everybody,
Griff ball.
everybody has
Yeah,
guns.
Griff ball.
Yes, Griff ball.
Wait, true.
Nah, dude.
I just
but-
imagine NBA with guns.
Dude, okay, but
They're like dribbling. Boom!
With gravity hammers and energy swords.
best combination by far, okay? Dodgeball and long range shooting events. I'm just saying. Think about it.
Explain.
I just thought it was
Like,
the
you
other
know,
one.
like
I
how
just
they
said
have,
like
because technically shooting guns is a sport.
Okay.
okay, yeah.
So it's just essentially warfare, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, just
shooting people
warfare.
at a distance.
With tiny rubber balls.
I mean, you could phrase it that way. I was saying
Yeah.
just more the aspect of dodgeball is just hitting somebody with something,
Okay.
and you're just hitting them with lead.
Basically, holy shit. And then they're hitting the fucking dirt.
Oh yeah, pretty much. You take a quick little dirt nap. I'll be back up. They got to respawn. They'll win Gulag. I
Yeah.
promise.
You know what? Another gulag.
Okay,
We're at it
real
again.
question though: who in your life do you think would actually win a Gulag? And you're not allowed to say yourself.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like if the Gulag, the hypothetical Gulag is real,
Okay.
right?
Well, I mean,
Like COD Gulag. We're not
Okay.
talking like
Yeah.
The,
So
the
like the
actual
only
thing.
way to enter this gulag is you have to die in real life.
Exactly.
Hey,
Who do you think in your life could win a Gulag?
What weapon are we
what do you mean in
using?
your life? Somebody you know that has died?
Somebody in your life that you know. Like who do you think would win a Gulag? Is what I'm asking.
Probably my brother Mark.
Oh, he would 100% win a
Yeah,
Gulag.
yeah.
I've never seen Gulag.
Probably.
Are we talking
all of this.
fist fight
Yeah.
or gun fight?
We're talking Gulag. All the rules of the COD Gulag apply.
So you spawn
you
with
have
a gun.
flashbangs. You got
Oh,
gun.
so you can shoot.
Everybody has
Probably-
deagle though. Everybody has deagle. No shotguns. Too inconsistent. We're not doing that.
Probably okay.
Probably
so
not my dad because he's not that great of a shot.
Probably my
Well,
oldest brother.
If he can kick.
I think my father would win if it was shotguns because my dad.
I thought you said no shotguns.
Well, I mean, He's a
You
good.
said- you
He's a
said
good shot.
Deagle.
He's a
Yeah,
good
it's
shot.
like
Okay, well, I'm just
you
saying-
applied that. You
Hey, get
applied
the fucking
Deagle
rules
clause-
straight.
You applied the Deagle clause on all of us, and then on you, you're like, if it was shotguns,
Okay, the thing is,
get out of here.
he's an Olympic, or he trained with Olympians for skeet shooting.
So what is it? So with a Deagle, would he win?
Yeah,
All right, cool.
he's a he's
Is he a good shot?
yeah. He was on the Air Force skeet shooting team,
Huh?
and he won
Okay.
years and years in a row. So he's real good. I was like, I think my dad would clap cheeks in a shooting event. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I was saying my brother mainly because he's fit as fuck.
I feel like your dad would too, though.
My dad?
Because your dad, he
Yeah.
showed us that fucking arrow he split with another arrow. That was cool.
Yeah, I mean they're both good shots. It really just depends on how the game goes. You know, I mean,
If they use flashbangs, you think they're gonna get cheesed?
flashbangs you can't
Basically
really.
cheats.
There's no dodging that shit. So I mean,
Can't-
yeah, you can't just like turn your head and like up. Nope.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you can't just go like.
You have to cover your eyes,
Cover
your
your
eyes
eyes
and
and ears.
ears. But even then, it's so loud that realistically that would not help.
Probably not.
But in the gulag, yeah, no, my brother and my dad could, but I think the choking game and tetherball, that would be a good combo.
What's the choking game?
Never heard of the joking game.
So pretty much you just get choked
okay.
for as long as you
Sick.
can.
Sounds like a dumbass game. Sounds like
Where
the
does
slapping
tetherball
game.
come
Yeah,
into play?
it's exactly. But yeah, so the premise is you would play tetherball by
Like
Tetherball was
you
so
both
much
have
fun.
one hand.
you
each
would
other.
you would no you would
Tetherball, but with guns.
you would play, and then whenever the person wins a match, you would get choked, and then for however long you get choked for or stay up, I guess you would the ball would spin back, and then you have to go and try and win again while you're
Why not? Why
Just
not?
out
Why
of-
not
out-
soccer and
out of breath.
tetherball?
well, because that wouldn't work.
That sound pretty cool.
The ball wouldn't go anywhere, bro.
Yeah, it would just be going back and forth.
You have to do like backflip kicks and shit.
You gotta
for
get
that.
skilled at that shit.
Okay,
dude.
have you guys seen that? It's like a ancient Aztec sport.
Or where they
where
put
they-
the head into the
Gladiator, where they just murder each other.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's like a sideways basketball hoop. It's in that movie. I'm trying to remember. It's in that movie.
El Dorado.
Yeah, it's in El Dorado.
I love that movie.
It's like basketball with a sideways hoop. That shit looks like it'd be so much fun. Like actually looks like it would be a good time. But apparently that shit was actually really brutal. Like they would like gouge each other's eyes out and beat
Yeah, I
the
don't
shit.
think
Yeah,
really had
because
the-
the,
they didn't
because
really
the
care about
losing
rules
team
and
gets
shit.
Died.
executed.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
But
Bruh.
the thing is, they wanted to die though. Like
do you mean?
like
Dying
so-
was honorable.
Yeah, dying was honorable. It was a good death. It's like
It's a vibe.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, the whole culture was very like sacrifice, very like
Please the gods
Oh yeah, you
gods,
said
need
Aztec,
blood.
didn't you?
Yeah,
They were like about sacrifice and all that bullshit.
and the Mayans.
Oh, true.
Native Americans just didn't know what they were doing. It seems.
I mean, hey, you know what?
Wait,
Sacrificing to the sun god.
They were chilling, boys. That's what they were really doing.
I mean, what was it? They traded all their land for coffee beans or something like that.
Hey, that's how.
No,
that's how you
like
do
dead
it,
ass,
dude.
like coffee.
actually? Some
Yeah,
real shit?
coffee beans and
They had no
I
idea.
think it
what
was like I was like pasteurized milk or something like that. It was something like very
So
trivial.
boiled milk.
It was
Spoiled
very
milk.
trivial, but the thing is like they just wouldn't have come up with it at that time, I guess, because it was not included in their lifestyle because they didn't like plant shit and whatever. But anyways, yeah, no coffee beans. They're like, yeah, that shit's lit, and did very bad things for it.
So I got a last question from Reddit. What is the one movie that you always recommend to people? Like if somebody's like, what movie should like what?
I mean, there's a couple obvious ones here.
Joker. I'm just kidding.
I've still
Obviously,
never
I
seen
mean,
it.
my personal favorite
Yeah?
movie is like
a good movie.
Interstellar. So I'll recommend people that. But The Matrix is one of my favorites. It's not people. A lot of people have issues with The Matrix, but I will always recommend The Matrix.
What was your other one?
2 or 3.
Interstellar, just one.
Oh, okay.
I like all of them, but it's hard to get people to watch the other two. Like, you gotta watch the first one.
I don't know. It's kind of hard.
Dark Knight, obviously too.
The Dark
I mean,
Knight.
it's pretty generic answers, but
It's a good movie.
it's a good movie.
It's a
But
good movie.
Napoleon Dynamite. Can't go
I still
wrong.
haven't seen it.
Can't go wrong.
You need to watch it. It's pretty good.
It's
I mean,
I-
isn't it just
I-
cringe humor though at this point?
What, Napoleon
Just like
Dynamite?
fart jokes and
Little
stuff.
bit.
No, it's actually very dry. It's like The Office but drier, but it's actually really funny. It's
Really?
I
It
can
still
see
it
that.
still holds up.
it still
fun?
holds up. Yeah, it's
I can see that. Yeah.
it's super funny, but it's so like norm and mundane that you're like, no, that's actually hilarious because that could actually fucking happen.
Yeah.
Like I could see somebody stuffing their pockets with tater tots. Like that's, I mean, it wasn't it wasn't like there's no one part in the whole movie where it's like this big joke, but like it's filled with smaller jokes that are just constantly there.
It's like
So
nonchalant.
yeah.
I would say I would compare the like Napoleon Dynamite comedy to like British comedy, because I'd say that British comedy is more nonchalant than it is American comedy.
Yeah, like what the British version of The Office or Ricky Gervais's take of it. That one flopped, but the one
Take
with,
of it.
Oh no, sorry. He created
Yeah, I
it.
was gonna say the OG one.
Yeah, but it sucks, so it failed. So I
Yeah.
guess it's not the good one.
Controversial right there.
don't
I
know.
mean, it did not sell as well as the American one, so I mean, it couldn't have been that much better, right?
Yeah, I mean, okay, for me, I actually have 3 different ones that I would drop for people. If they're looking for a TV show, I know it's a little off topic, but if they're looking for a TV show, UK Top Gear
The Office.
is so fucking
Oh.
good, and it's slept on so hard. Like, if you're a
UK
US
Top Gear.
UK Top Gear,
I don't think it's just that slept on.
it's slept
Most
on by
people-
US people. Like, very few people in the US who aren't car people probably have watched it. I mean, I know it's
Nah,
not.
that's not even true. Bro.
Okay, whatever. I recommend it. If you haven't seen it, it's great. Then, like, a classic film that I think everybody can get on is Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I think it's a good one. If you haven't watched that, that still holds up. I watched it recently and I fucking died.
It's still funny.
And
The greatest thing about that whole movie is what's his name? I don't remember his name. The guy who gets arrested at the end. Like
King Arthur.
they all do. No, they all get arrested at the end. But like the guy who like he crosses the bridge first, and then after crossing the bridge, he runs into like he gets arrested by the cops. I forgot his name. His like L. His name starts with an L. Like Lancelot.
L from Death
Lancelot.
Note.
There
Yeah.
you go. No. L from Death Note.
And then the most recent one that I've seen that I really think is a great film. I came into it with very low expectations. The Gentleman. If you like UK grime music, you know the fucking one with Matthew McConaughey.
Oh yeah, that
Where the
movie's
fuck-
pretty good.
Crack your head, make it legs go jelly. Like that shit was so fucking funny, especially at the end. But there's so many. What?
Crack your head and make it like so Billy.
There's in the end they're doing like at the credits.
It's like
they
a
have
music
this
video.
fucking song, but dude, it slaps so hard. I'm like, I don't know why this isn't like on the internet because I've looked for it, I can't find it. But they had this fucking line in there, and it's a British guys, and it's like, crack your egg, make your legs go chilly, bro. Like it's, I don't know. UK grime is so fucking funny to listen to. But the film is fantastic. There's a lot of parkour. It's got Matthew McConaughey being Matthew McConaughey, so if you like that, you'll love this.
Oh yeah.
And it's super smart. The whole movie is very like intelligently written. It's not like a cheesy action movie that's like I'm here for thrills. It's not like Hobbs and Shaw. It's not like I'm trying to think of some other ones like the later Die Hard movies where it's very formulaic and it's just kind of like cheap action stuff, or like The Meg where it's just cheap thrills.
Any Michael Bay movie.
Yeah, pretty much. Like it definitely avoids all the tropes and stereotypes that I think a lot of action movies fall into
Yeah.
because it takes itself more seriously, more like a drama. But it's really good. I'd highly recommend it.
Another one that's super slept on, and this one's like legitimately slept on, is Treasure Planet. That movie, I will always recommend that movie to anyone.
Bro,
I
Bugs
watched
Bunny.
it.
It's so good.
I watched it. I really like it, but like, there's just something about it where it's like, it just seems like there's something missing with it. Like I don't
second
know. I
movie.
don't know. Oh,
Dude, it bombed in the theaters, and that's why they didn't get a second. Like nobody watched it in theaters.
well, the thing is, like, it's kind of weird. Like it's good. Like don't get me wrong.
The soundtrack, too, is so
it's a
good.
good movie, but like there just seems like there's something missing with it. Like
What do you think?
I'm not satisfied after I watched it.
You weren't satisfied with that ending?
Like, it
you
was
gotta
good.
rewatch it, bro. When did
It-
you watch it last?
I watched it 3 months ago. It was good, but the thing is, like, it was so whenever he was it he got to keep, and it's not called fleur, but it's that little like fucking liquid thingy that fucking hops around and does that.
Oh yeah, the
it
little
morphs
like
and shit.
the
Like, it's super cool, and I get it, but like it just doesn't. I don't know. It looked cool. It was a good movie. Sorry, I don't mean to just shit.
No, I get it. I mean, we have our
Hear anything,
opinions. We have our wrong
but-
opinions.
Wrong opinions.
Don't steal my cash line. That's mine.
That's not. You're not the first one to ever say that.
I'm right.
You've never been on Twitter.
I'm
You've
right.
never been on Twitter. No, yeah. Anyways,
I don't know any. Like the only few movies that I've. Well, I mean,
What do you recommend people normally?
Yeah, the last thing that I've recommended to someone was
A book.
Dumb and Dumber to Matt. I recommended Dumb and Dumber
Or
to
The
Matt.
Hangover.
The Hangover. Yes, we have still yet to finish that movie, Matt. When are we?
True.
Pretty good.
Oh no, I just like it because I mean, I just said it's like, hey, whenever we go to Vegas, we gotta do shit like this. That's the only reason that it came up. But yeah, Dumb and Dumber.
Trying to get drugged.
Trying to get drugged. Yeah,
Sounds like a move right there.
yeah. And then like another one that I've recommended to Matt and other people was the Wreck movies.
Oh yeah,
The Wreck movies?
The
Yeah,
Wreck
they're like found footage like Spanish zombie films.
they're really good. Surprisingly so. I thought it was garbage.
It's
Nope.
it's one of the few like I'd personally say it's like one of the few good like zombie films or found footage films to be exact.
Is it like an actual production? Like it's actual movies?
What is the single scariest thing in a horror movie for you guys? Like if you had to dissect your favorite horror movie, what do you think makes it so terrifying to watch? Like, is it the suspense? Is it like
No.
because of it's it's a thriller? I mean, this isn't a movies podcast, but we're talking about
Yeah.
movies, so it's topical.
I don't know. Well, I mean, this is gonna sound like a very cop out thing for me to say, or a very generic thing for me to say, but my favorite horror movie is The Thing. And I guess the one thing that I liked about it the most is that like, because there are a few instances where like, because realistically the monster did like the thing itself didn't really show up for like more than like 30 minutes throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
And the movie's pretty long. But like the majority of like where the scare comes from that movie is like, the paranoia between the men, like the trust and all that stuff and all that. I like that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Where you don't know if you can trust anybody or
Yeah.
like.
So I guess that goes into like suspense and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's
suspense
definitely
and like actual real tension instead of just like being like because the thing about horror nowadays is that I don't consider most horror movies to come out are horror movies. I just call them jump scare movies.
Yeah.
Because they're heavily reliant on jump scares, and I just don't like the fact where it's like someone walks into the room, dead silence for like 30 seconds, and then bam, jump scare. It's like there's the horror. And like it's not horror. I mean, it's startling, but that's it.
It's like you got me to react, but not in like a satisfying you're scared type of way. It's very much
Yeah.
wow, you made me react to the stimulus of something flashing in front of my eyeballs and me jerking away from it. It's crazy.
I think one of my favorite horror movies, and I don't even know if you would actually call it a horror movie, but the movie Ex Machina.
Oh yeah.
That movie is so good.
Movie's
Would you
good.
call it a horror movie?
I think it'd be thriller.
You
Thriller?
could.
Thriller?
I call
Suspenseful?
It has
you call
horror
a
aspects in it.
You can call it a horror movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
It depends on your.
I wouldn't.
outlook
Yeah, I
of
would
it.
probably say horror, but like, yeah, it's like a subgenre.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it
that's
really just depends on.
I
what you're
like their
scared
take on it because it's kind of scary, like a little bit, like because you're like, shit, it's AI, they're unpredictable.
Yeah.
of. But
the
it's
fuck?
human. But
But
unpredictable.
exactly.
Whoa. Toy Story, hands down, scariest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Hell yeah, brother.
Nah, dude,
Talking
Cat in the
toys?
Hat, the one with Mike
Actually,
Myers.
yeah, that one's actually fucking scary.
That shit as a child that terrified
Why
me.
was he so weird? And
Very
creepy?
I don't know
weird.
why they made the cat.
Austin
look
Powers
like
the
that,
movie is weird too.
The what?
Austin
Austin
Powers
Powers.
is good though, man.
He's very rapey, but he's a funny guy, but very.
Is he really rapey?
In the first one, he is. Yeah, he's just trying to get his like dick wet the whole movie.
Well, I mean, that's just what he does.
Yeah, true. He got
Kids
he's
movie,
got to
by
get
the
his
way.
mojo, baby.
Mojo, babe. Yeah, it's pretty good. If you haven't watched it, that's a good watch too. There's this movie, and I'm gonna say it. Nobody's gonna know what I'm talking about. It's super slept on. It's called Master of Disguise. It's not a horror.
Actually,
film.
that movie slaps.
It does. Yeah. And
Master of Disguise.
Am I turtle enough for the Turtle Club?
yeah, no, it's
It's
stop
slept
hitting
on.
yourself. Stop hitting yourself. Yeah,
It's
that
slept on,
movie.
for
It's
real.
so good. And also, if you ever watched Wizards of Waverly Place,
Oh,
okay,
Selena.
yeah, but you remember the parents?
I don't. I don't remember parent. I
Well,
do.
dude, I remember that mom, dude.
Ooh.
Ooh, boy.
Thick Spanish boy. Ooh.
Thick Spanish moms are hit different, bro.
What's going on?
Latina mommies. But no.
Why do they always give like kids' moms dump truck ass?
I don't know, dude. Dexter's
Bro,
mom from
Velma?
Dexter's Laboratory, dude.
Bro,
Holy
Velma?
Mrs. Incredible.
Did you guys see
dude?
that?
Oh, Phineas and Ferb's mom.
Okay.
That gravitational pull. Dude.
Anyways, real quick to get back to the point I was talking about.
Why is her daughter named Candace?
The parents from Wizards of Waverly Place, I think, are maybe an acting duo because they're actually in
They're married, bro.
The Master of Disguise. In the first scene, the scene where he's
They're
going
not
after that lady, that's the mom from Wizards of Waverly Place, and then the jock boyfriend who shows up is the the
dad.
father in when there's Waverly Place. Yeah,
Are they in a relationship in real life?
I think so. I'm not certain, but it makes sense. By the way,
Hell yeah.
the guy who has the motorcycle who lives next to us, I don't like you. Just letting
For
you.
existing?
He
He's
wakes me
straight
up every
pipe.
day, dude.
What do you want him to do? Change his schedule for you?
It's just straight
No,
pipe.
just
He's
don't buy a
it's
straight
just
pipe
loud.
car.
It's
you
just
dickhead.
loud. Like it sounds cool on the road, but like right now he turns it on and just sits there for like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
and like,
like,
oh,
you'll-
cool.
It's a vibe.
he'll literally just like leave it
Exactly.
on for the next he won't leave for another like 2 or 3 minutes.
He's gonna vibe there in the
I
parking lot.
actually don't think that's the motorcycle though.
It's
I
a
think that-
Charger.
I think
It's
that's
It's
a
a
green one.
Challenger, yeah.
I think it's a Challenger, yeah.
But anyways, scary movie though honestly is I did not actually like it. Midsummer. I thought Midsummer was a really scary movie mainly because it was so awkward and so like. There's a lot of that movie
Is
where
it worth
like
a watch?
huh?
Is it worth a watch?
I think so. I think
haven't
it's
seen
worth.
it yet.
I think it's worth at least one watch. But there's a lot of the movie where the characters are taking drugs, and as you're watching it, you start realizing you're also seeing like drugs as well, like the screen morphs and stuff, and people's face droop and shit like that, and it's very unsettling and very just really hard to like focus on because like it fucks with you really hard because the more you focus on one thing, like it's like, oh shit, that's wrong. But like I think a good horror movie isn't really supposed to get you scared. It's supposed to make you uncomfortable. And after I left the film, I was very like uncomfortable. Like I couldn't place it, but I just wasn't like I was very like upset. I don't know why. I'm like, why did I watch this movie? Now I just feel like
Weird.
weird. I just felt upset. I was like, why the fuck am I so mad? But
I've had that multiple times. For some reason, some movies will do that. Just make you feel so weird after. I don't know why.
like, I wish-
What causes that?
it's like
That's why
I wish
like
I
the thing,
didn't
too,
see
because
that.
I mean the way the thing ends is just make you feel so uneasy between like what's his name, McCready and Grimes, because they're the only two survivors. But then like Grimes went not like off screen for like a few minutes, and then he just comes back at the end. And, like
Really?
he just like you can't tell whether he's like a thing or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really? So they leave you with that?
Yeah, and it's like they're both just like sitting there out in the cold, like just staring at each other, and
He's
that's how
vibing.
the movie ends.
He'd be vibing.
Dang.
I thought one of them doesn't it end with like their dog running towards like civilization with the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but the older one's the second one, and the
have y'all
newer one's the
seen-
first one.
Have y'all seen Life?
Life.
The space movie about they discover like life in space, and then they have it in a container, and it takes over the ship.
Actually,
I've
I
seen the
wanted to see
trailer.
it, but I never have.
It's a
I
good
want to
one.
see it.
movie.
I've
We
seen
should
the
watch
trailer,
that.
but I
We
don't
should
think
watch
I've
that
seen
and
it.
do a review of it. Honestly,
Y'all have
I'm
you have
big-
work
I'm big
tonight?
about it.
I do have work tonight.
Damn.
Next podcast.
I would skip work.
No, literally,
Say
I'm not
it,
trying to fire.
Don't make guap.
Don't make the guap, boys. You know they call me a baker because I'm making so much bread right now, so it's fine.
But yeah, dude, I can't think of the last time that I've seen a good horror movie. But I mean, again,
Don't make me give you mixed signals. I don't know if y'all remember that bit from the last episode. My left and
Oh,
right
that's
face.
right.
jeez.
Bro, hoes out here be throwing mixed signals. I'd be throwing them back. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Don't we have another ad to do?
Yeah, we do have another ad break to cut off too, so we'll be right back with you guys.
And we're back.
Yo.
So
High
What else we
energy.
got? One last question.
no questions left right now. Actually,
You just want to call it?
I mean it. Yeah,
I'm chilling. Sorry, I'm hitting my limit. I've been up for like 48 hours, and I've partaken in things I probably shouldn't have. So
Okay.
I'm just mentally gone.
Oh, you're good,
are we gonna
bro.
talk about that one day, or is that?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it probably after the podcast. Whenever,
Oh,
but-
okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
I just
you
wanted to
should-
make sure that we're on the same train. All right.
Yeah.
Well, then this has been the Hammered Hooligans podcast. Say goodbye, everybody.
All right. We'll
catch
see you
you
guys on
later.
the next one.
Catch you later, guys. Bye.